If you've been anywhere on the internet the last 6 or 7 years, there's a pretty good chance this voice has been living in your head rent-free at some point.
Why don't you say so?
Whether it was that absurd cow meme blowing up, a disco-flavored bop soundtracking your summer, or her straight up telling fans she doesn't owe them a performance of love and gratitude every single day, Doja Cat has been unavoidable. Today, we're doing a full look back on her rise from self-releasing weird little tracks as a teenager to the viral moment that changed everything. It's a story about memes turning into mainstream dominance, talent meeting unfiltered personality, and what happens when someone decides they're done trying to make everyone comfortable. So today everyone, please sit back as we look back on the evolution of Doja Cat. Alright, 2 quick notes before we jump in. 1, let me know if this mic sounds better than the other mic. And 2, I am going to try to play like clips of the songs, previews that I talk about throughout this video. But obviously, you guys know that YouTube's copyright system is kind of insane. So if some of them are muted eventually after it gets uploaded, I apologize in advance. Doja Cat, born Amala Ratna Zandile Dlamini in LA, didn't burst onto the scene as some fully formed pop star. She was uploading to SoundCloud as early as 2012 and 13 when she was still a teenager. So High was basically her first permanent upload on there, and it caught the attention of the right people. She got signed to Kimo Sabe Records, an imprint of RCA, around 2014, and dropped her first EP, Purr, that August. It was this spacey, Eastern-influenced R&B vibe. So High got repackaged as her official debut single, and even landed on the TV show Empire. Some people were into it, but it wasn't exactly setting the charts on fire yet. She was grinding in the LA underground hip-hop scene too, performing at parties and cyphers, and even linking with producers like Yeti Beats. But then came a random period of creative limbo for Doja. She was experiencing intense writer's block while also feeling like the label wasn't paying her much attention, which led her to drop out of school and start couch surfing, which is when she also started to smoke a lot of weed while trying to figure herself out. However, in March 2018, we'd finally get Doja Cat's debut album, Amala. It had some cool moments, that sweet, sexy world of hip-hop, twisted pop, and smoked out R&B, but it didn't immediately blow up the way everyone had hoped. Then, August 2018 happens. She self-publishes this homemade music video for Moo, a straight-up novelty track where she's fantasizing about being a cow, rapping over a bouncy beat in a cow print onesie. It was low budget, weird, and hilarious. The video went mega viral as an internet meme almost overnight. Millions of views in a day on YouTube and Twitter. People were losing their minds making edits, reaction videos, and turning every moment of the video into an inside joke. That meme energy was the real catalyst. Labels suddenly realized she was marketable as hell. Because of the demand, they rushed out the deluxe version of Amala in early 2019, with bonus tracks including Moo, Tia Tamera, which had a Rico Nasty feature, and the solo version of Juicy. Those sleeper hits started climbing. The internet didn't just discover Doja Cat, it turned her into a full cultural moment. Once that spark hit, she didn't waste time getting to capitalizing. Hot Pink dropped in November 2019, and this was the album where she really found her footing and proved she could play at the highest level. She said she wanted more respect as a rapper with this one, and she cleaned up her process. She stopped smoking as much weed, which gave her a more clear-headed and concise writing style. She named it Hot Pink because it's her favorite color, and she wanted people to feel that passionate, warm, welcoming energy before they even press play. It was a departure from the rawer Amala vibe. It was more polished pop, hip-hop, and R&B with funk and soul elements, but still full of her quirky humor and double entendres. And the longevity on this project was insane. It eventually went double platinum, it peaked at number 9 on the Billboard 200, and it spawned 7 singles over the next couple years because the songs just kept finding new audience. Juicy, the Tyga version, was one of the early ones.
I keep it juicy, juicy. I eat that lunch. She keep that booty, booty. She keep that plump, yeah. That natural beauty, beauty, yeah, yeah.
It was fun, flirty, and it had a food-themed video with her in watermelon and cherry costumes. Then Say So became the monster. That disco-inspired track was already bubbling, but a TikTok dance created by Haley Sharp sent it into the stratosphere. The solo version climbed into the top 5, and when Nicki Minaj hopped on the remix, it hit number 1 on the Hot 100, which was Doja Cat's first.
It happened and people called me and like, congratulations, like you hit number 1, and they're like, I'm like, thanks, blah, 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 hung up the phone. And not even like an hour later, I hear a beep outside, and it is 10 cars lined up on the road, completely empty road, and it's one of those cul-de-sac type of vibes where all the houses look the same kind of thing. And I come outside and everybody's like, congratulations!
She performed it everywhere in different styles. Hard rock at the EMAs, Broadway vibes at the BBMAs, and other standouts like Streets became later sleeper hit thanks to the Silhouette Challenge on TikTok. Bottom Bitch had that early aughts pop punk energy with the Blink-182 sample, and Rules showed off her rap side with Kendrick-inspired flows. Features with Gucci Mane on Like That and others helped too. She was showing range. Sexy, funny, tough, melodic, all in one project. Then, Planet Her in June 2021 took it to another level. This was peak commercial Doja. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the R&B and hip hop specifically charts. It went multi-platinum and was one of the biggest albums of that year globally. The sound was luxurious, empowering, lustful. It had infectious melodies, zingy rap verses, and sun-kissed production. Kiss Me More with SZA was the huge funky collab that dominated that summer. Need to Know and Woman were also massive. She had You Right with The Weeknd, and the whole project felt like her stepping into superstar territory while still keeping that playful, genre-fluid DNA. Critics praised the versatility, even if some noted that the lyricism sometimes took a backseat to the vibe of the production, but I mean commercially it was undeniable. She went from meme curiosity to legitimate chart dominator who could have headlined festivals and pull massive features. This era solidified her as more than just a viral girl. She was a real force in pop and hip hop. But now, we gotta talk about the messier side, because it's been a huge part of her story and why people stay so invested in her, or frustrated. Doja has had this ongoing, very public back and forth with fans that's felt different from most artists. There were multiple instances where she's clapped back online, telling people she doesn't love fans she doesn't know personally, or playing into the dry, I hate you energy in the trolling way that she does. One time, a fan wanted her to tell the fanbase she loved them, and her response was basically, I don't though, cause I don't even know y'all. She lost hundreds of thousands of followers at points, but said she's felt free. Some saw it as refreshing honesty in an industry full of fake gratitude, while others felt it was alienating the people who put her on. But she's been consistent. She doesn't cater to over-invested stan behavior or creepy stuff like fans using her birth name as their own online.
Doja Cat is setting the record straight with her fans because she posted to social media stating, quote, if you call yourself a kitten or kittens, that means that you need to get off your phone and get a job and help your parents with the house. Now, fans were not happy when they saw that Doja Cat posted this to social media, so much so that many users fled in and left their 2 cents about this whole thing, mostly saying that Doja Cat was the one that deemed them as this nickname kitten or kittens in the first place. And then Doja Cat's response to that was, quote, because she was an alcoholic teen when she gave them that nickname.
The Scarra era in 2022 and 2023 really amped everything. In August, she shaved her head and eyebrows, saying she never liked having long hair anyway, and it felt like ripping off a shell, an act of comfort and shedding something. The internet went nuclear. People were armchair diagnosing her with mental health issues, eating disorders, calling it a breakdown, attacking her looks, and just generally losing it over a woman changing her appearance on her own terms. She leaned all the way into the demon persona. She showed up to Paris Fashion Week in that wild all-red jewelry encrusted Schiaparelli that got called demonic by some. On the album itself, she addressed critics and fans directly in tracks, scorning the people who were quick to insult her new look, then switch up when she put a wig back on. And in the dating rumors and think pieces, the speculation about her linking up with certain types of dudes, often white alt-right men, it was a lot of noise.
Learned, that there are racist people who come in and out of the chat. They're there. They happen and then they're banned. The idea that this chat room is a white supremacist chat room is, I don't understand it in any way.
Then the Scarlet album cover itself got backlash. People claiming it looks stolen from Google Images or possibly even AI generated.
So Doja Cat recently went viral because she dropped the cover art to her upcoming album, and then it just so happened to be the exact same cover art as another band and their album that's coming up.
Her response? Straight up, the art I chose for my album is beautiful and I like it a lot. She's posted similar energy elsewhere, basically saying she was done performing for people's comfort. Whether you think it's based or exhausting, she's been extremely unapologetic about owning her weirdness and refusing to stay in that palatable pop girl box. It's made her polarizing as hell, but it's also kept her relevant and authentic in a way a lot of artists aren't willing to risk. And while all that online chaos was happening, you could see her shifting towards a more raw, unfiltered content in real time. It wasn't just the occasional Instagram live anymore, like that one where she had a full emotional freakout over finding a spider in her house.
Alex, please don't. Please, Alex, move.
Or just trolling viewers on stream. It felt like a deliberate move into showing more of the actual person behind the persona. Less perfectly curated music video rollouts and mysterious artist distance, and more, here's me existing, talking shit, being goofy, dealing with normal human stuff. She's done lives where the personality shines through, in that unfiltered late night chat way. It humanized her during a time when a lot of the discourse around her was super intense and one-sided. Instead of hiding or issuing apology statements, she was just there, online, being herself on her own terms. And whether it was intentional or not, that shift rippled out. You started seeing it in other big artists in rap and pop, like Lizzo, Ski Mask, DDG, among several others, leaning harder into IRL streaming, live hangs, behind the scenes vibes, and just being more accessible in real time. It's part of this broader post-2020 trend where the fourth wall between artist and fan has gotten a lot thinner. Less drop the album and disappear into the next rollout, and more consistent conversational presence. Doja helped normalize the idea that you can be a massive star, deal with all of the noise, and still show up as a real person without it killing your mystique. In a super curated, algorithm-driven industry, that raw streaming energy feels like a lane she helped widen for others who want to connect without the full pop star armor on 24/7. Looking back, the whole Doja Cat journey so far, it's honestly just one of the more fascinating artist stories of the last decade. From a teenager uploading to SoundCloud and grinding through creative blocks, to a meme cow song flipping the script on her career, to Hot Pink and Planet Her proving she could dominate charts and pull massive collabs while still sounding like herself, to the Scarlet era where she basically said, "I'm done performing for your comfort," and shaved her head and clapped back at everyone. She's shown insane versatility, rapping hard, singing hooks that stick for weeks, flipping genres, and injecting humor and personality into everything. Personally, I think her talent is undeniable. The way she can switch from sweet to melodic to demonic and aggressive, the clever wordplay, the way she owns being weird and online native, I mean, that's kinda special. At the same time, the controversies highlight how tricky it is to be that visible, that honest, and that online, while millions of people feel entitled to a version of you. She's not always likable. She's not trying to be everyone's comfort artist, and she seems completely fine with the trade-offs. In a lot of ways, she's the artist a lot of chronically online people wish they could be. Talented enough to back it up, and zero interest in kissing ass or staying in a box. She's also left a real mark on how music and internet culture interact now. The streaming pivot, the unfiltered presence, and the refusal to play nice. It's influenced the lane for authenticity in a big way. Whether you're fully on board with every move, or you find parts of it exhausting, you can't deny she's been a cultural force who keeps evolving on her own terms. And with projects like the V album in 2025 still showing she's not slowing down, there's plenty more chapters to come. But what do you guys think though? Is her "I don't care anymore about satisfying you" attitude refreshing, or has it crossed into a more messy, alienating territory? Drop your takes in the comments because I do love interacting and reacting to you guys. And if you like this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so more of them pop up on your homepage. And as always, anything can be special, it's just how you look at it. Peace out.